everybody. ¿Cómo está mi gente? My name is Leslie Rivera. I am the writer-director of Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions. And yes, it was made entirely in a storage unit in front of green screen using miniatures for the props and the sets and stock footage as background. So what you just saw, that's how the whole thing was made. I had been living in Philadelphia for over 20 years, and I've been a freelance videographer for, close to like 15, 16 years. And my wife and I, she's a dancer, choreographer, I'm a filmmaker. We felt like we were just going around in circles, and then we had our daughter. And when we had our daughter, I started thinking it would be great for her to be around more of her family. And my wife is from North Carolina, so we just decided to move. And all of a sudden I find myself without clients, with a lot of time on my hands. And I'm like, oh man, what am I gonna do? One thing I did wanna do was make a change and be creative. I mean, for many years I had made a lot of short films and passion projects for myself. And I felt like for a while I had not been doing that. So we were talking to a friend who is an artist, and he said he had his artist studio in a storage unit. I was like, in a storage unit? He was like, yeah, this company, they rent out storage units to artists like myself, that's where I have my studio, and to bands. So a lot of bands rehearse in this place. I was like, what? I checked it out, and I was like, word, I guess I'll be the only filmmaker in here with a movie studio. And so I rented a unit, and then I was like, what am I gonna do in here? And then I thought, all right, I got my green screen, let me throw it up. That way it's just there, and it's, anytime I wanna film any green screen stuff, it's up. And prior to moving to North Carolina, while in Philadelphia, I had a band. And so I made all the music videos for my band. And one of the things I found is that making music videos in front of a green screen was a great way to make music videos quickly. And one of the first music videos I made that way was for a song called Platypus. And the entire video was made in that way, in front of a green screen. And it turned out pretty cool. So all the other music videos I did them in this manner. But I never thought to make a short film or to make a feature film or a narrative entirely in front of a green screen. But I had this storage unit now. And so I found myself on a Friday night at 11 p.m., I found myself in the studio, in the storage unit. And I was like, what should I do? All of a sudden, I remembered how much I loved like the Twilight Zone and like 1950s, like B movies. So I decided, what would be cool? What if I do something like mysterious and scary in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the night with nobody around? And I had this scale model Mustang convertible, and I was like, I could put myself inside of the car, and then I'm driving through the desert and I hit something, and it turns out to be some kind of weird creature, and it could be creepy, and my mind like just started going, and right there and then on that spot I started filming. I was amazed at how well it turned out. And I was like, this is cool, I'm gonna keep doing this. And I just started making more and more scenes like that. I would go in the studio, kind of write something out real quick, and then act it out, and then get some miniatures and toys and things, and like create these sets and worlds, and it was a lot of fun. And eventually that is how Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions came about. Giant monster B-movies, cheesy sci-fi films, film noir, anything starting from the silent film era all the way to, I'd say, films of the 80s. All that stuff, I love all that stuff. Those are the kind of movies that I loved. As much as I love these kinds of films, there was one problem. I never saw somebody that looked like me. I never saw myself in them. So I figured nobody was gonna do it. And if nobody was gonna do it, then it was up to me to make it happen. And that's what I did. I have no aspirations to be an actor, but at the time, I was available. I was available for this film. So because I was available, I guess I literally put myself up on the screen. My desire, my fear and desire, my desire to see myself up on the screen became a literal reality. An Afro-Latino was finally starring in a 1950s style campy B-movie thriller, creature horror thing. And I made that happen. Why, hello there. I want to talk to you about how Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions was filmed and how it was composited together and all that good stuff. So visually, Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions is, if you want to think about it like this, is composed of three elements. There's the talent, which would be me and some of the other actors in front of the green screen. There's the miniatures, also filmed in front of green screen. And then there's the stock footage. So the reason I did it this way is I didn't really want to use computer-generated images. So I did it the way I did, which is like I filmed the miniatures, I filmed myself, and I wanted things to more or less be real in the sense that they were filmed, and then those would be the elements that I would use to create my shots, to put my shots together. The other reason I wanted to do it this way is because I wanted to edit, composite, and do all the effects and everything in one software program. And that program was Final Cut Pro 10. It had everything I needed out of the box. It has a keyer for me to get rid of the green screen or to chroma key the green screen out. It has matte tools that I can use, particularly a matte tool that I could draw the matte out. And also I wanted the ability to be able to animate things, and I can animate things in Final Cut Pro using keyframes. So with those three elements, I basically could do everything inside one program. It helped save me time. It also helped me creatively. The restriction actually helped me be more creative and have to use my brain, mi cerebro, to figure things out and to problem solve. And I think the restriction of being in one place in one program was very helpful for that. I want to talk to you about the themes of Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpion. Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions is basically about the emotions, the fear, like all the stuff I went through when I found out I was going to be a father. For many years prior to that, I was a freelance videographer. So never in my life had I had a 9-to-5. All of a sudden, when I find that I'm going to be a father, I'm like, oh my God, I need something steady. First, I started looking and applying for jobs, 9-to-5 jobs. And then I got a few interviews and they went horribly. And I was freaking out and I was like, I need something steady. I'm gonna be a dad. I can't, how am I gonna raise a kid with the crazy life of a freelancer? It's just not gonna work. And so thematically, I wanted to incorporate that into the story of Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions. Papi Ramirez, the hero, is a stuntman in low-budget movies, doesn't make a lot of money, wanted a different career for himself. He thought he would be in a different place, very much like myself. When I found out I was going to be a dad, I thought I would be in a different place in my career, in a much better place. Before my daughter was born, I was freaking out. And now I know that I can provide for my kid. I'll do whatever I need to do to provide for my kid. It actually has focused me and made me do things that I normally would not have done. Like making a feature film. I always wanted to make a feature film. And I would have thought, oh, I gotta make a feature film before I have a kid because then I won't have time. But actually having a kid pushed me to make a feature film, which is something I always dreamed of doing. So thank you, kid. My kid, I wanna thank you, my kid. I'll get you a lollipop or something. I bought this toy little scorpion from Amazon, and then I decided to make Papi Ramirez versus giant scorpions. One thing that hit me about that was that my daughter is a Scorpio. Oh my God. So there was that. I was like, whoa, weird connection. Thank you, universe. That's pretty cool, actually. But just so y'all know, like if I do like interviews with like big film publications, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, like my daughter was a Scorpio, and I was like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Like, I'm just gonna make a movie about giant scorpions because like being a dad, it's like being attacked by giant scorpions. Like that's what my daughter is. She's a Scorpio. She's really a giant Scorpio. Like that's what it's like to be a dad. Like to have to deal with her. Yeah. All joking aside, it's been the greatest thing in my life to become a father. It really has. I want other fathers out there to know that, they're gonna go through emotions and all kinds of things where they feel like they're not ready and they're gonna fail and they're gonna be terrible at this. And I want other fathers to just know that they're not alone and that it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be like one of the greatest things that will ever happen to you. And it's just so dope. It's so dope. I love being a father. I love my daughter. I wanted to express how this individual who feels like he's gonna be a failure as a father, doesn't have what it takes to do it, how he figures it out, finds his inner strength and makes it happen and just like kills it. Thematically, that's what Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions is about. If you know a dad who will connect with this, send it their way. It started out as something for me, but like now it's not mine anymore. It's y'all's. It's for you. I made this for you. Hello again. I just wanted to say that even though I would say about 98% of this movie I made by myself, I did have some help. I shot one day in Philadelphia in a friend's office with some help from Philadelphia filmmakers. Thank you very much. And I also had some help from some friends remotely. They filmed themselves in front of their own green screens and then emailed me the footage, and then I took that footage and I incorporated it into the movie. Thank you to those friends who helped me out by filming themselves and then sending me the footage remotely. This is writer-director Leslie Rivera of Papi Ramirez versus Giant Scorpions, also known as Les El Blatino Cineninja. All right, peace.